The Gaza hospital blast sparking new warnings from Iran. Its foreign minister posting on social media that the time is over for Israel. Hours earlier, top Iranian commander threatened that Israel will face another shockwave of attacks. All of this as there are multiple reports tying Iran to the initial Hamas terror spree. Sheikh Kateri, who was granted asylum from Iran, writing it in an op-ed, Hamas and Islamic Jihad have their own political objectives for this attack, but Iran is likely to be the largest beneficiary. The regime expects Israel's national security policy to reorient toward the Palestinians, relieving Tehran of military pressure in Syria and Iraq. Iran thinks it will be free to advance its nuclear program while Israel tries to deal with Hamas. Senate Republicans yesterday called for the United States to immediately end aid to the Palestinians in Gaza. They also urged President Biden to formally freeze the $6 billion that we released to Iran in a prisoner swap last month.
We know that Iran bankrolls Hamas. We need to ensure that not another dollar goes to Iran.
Unfortunately, the message of the Biden administration has been one of appeasement of Iran.
Biden's ransom payment made to the Iranians shows you where his true colors are.
We need our leaders to stand firm in holding them accountable.
We as a nation will stand up to the world's largest state sponsor of terror, and that is Iran.
Senator Marsha Blackburn serves on the Senate Finance, Judiciary, and Veterans Affairs Committees, and she joins us now. So the Treasury Department, Senator, has said that it is going to block Iranian access to that $6 billion, but you and your Senate colleagues believe that the government needs to go further than that and completely refreeze that money. Why?
Absolutely, the money should be refrozen, and the waivers that allowed the transfer to take place from South Korean banks to Qatar banks need to be rescinded. We do not want Iran to ever have their hands on that money. John, what we do know is when you give Iran money, like happened with the 2015 Iran nuclear deal, and again with this $6 billion in ransom payments, what does Iran do with this money? A couple of things. They will enrich uranium so that they can build nuclear warheads. We do not want them to have nuclear warheads. And secondly, Iran is the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism. If you give them a dollar, they're going to put most of that dollar into terrorism. They fund Hamas to the tune of $100 million a year, plus supplies and training and weapons and ammo. And Hezbollah, the exact same program. See, Iran uses these proxies to do their dirty work and to carry out these terrorist attacks like Hamas has carried out on Israel.
Senator, we saw what an Iranian-backed proxy could do with motorcycles, paragliders, and stolen cars.
Yes.
What could Iran do to Israel if it ever got its hands on a nuclear weapon?
And this is of concern for us because what has Iran and what has the Ayatollah said is their goal. It is to eliminate Israel. And they have even called this attack on Israel by Hamas as a necessary step in eliminating Israel. You have these radicals, these terrorists that run around shouting, "Death to Israel, death to America." They go through Israel saying from the river to the sea, which means eliminating Israel. So we know what they're going to do. They have told us what they're going to do. And if they're going to tell you what they're going to do, for goodness sakes, believe them. And let's agree to stop them and to eliminate these terrorist organizations from the face of the earth.
So, Senator, Iran has said in recent hours that if Israel continues its military campaign in Gaza, it will face another shockwave. That threat coming directly from Iran. Yet we heard the president again today in Tel Aviv when he was saying to other actors in the region to stay out of this. He just used the words don't, one fewer don'ts than he iterated on Sunday night. Does he need to be sending a stronger signal to Iran? If Iran is threatening Israel directly, Does the United States president not need to step it up a bit in terms of the rhetoric?
Yes, he does. And that's why formally freezing the $6 billion, re-implementing the sanctions, which, as you know, John, Iran during the Trump administration was producing a few hundred barrels of oil a day. They're back to 3 million barrels a day and making $1 billion a week on selling oil. Put those sanctions in place. Another thing, the UN Relief and Work Agency for Palestinian Refugees, which Trump had defunded. Biden has put $730 million into it. We have found that Hamas has Hamas affiliates working with that agency. They have stolen some of the money. They're using facilities to hide weaponry and ammo. Defund it. Defund it. I've got a bill that would stop it until Iran is removed from the United Nations. They are the world's largest sponsor of terrorism, and we have to make certain they do not have the resources to put into this terrorist activity.
Senator, if Iran were to give Hezbollah in Lebanon the green light to go ahead and launch a full-on attack against Israel, which no doubt would put Tel Aviv and probably a large part of Jerusalem in the crosshairs, with two very powerful carrier battle groups and the 26 MEU off the shore, what should the American president do?
This is something that is going to be a discussion with the Department of Defense and also with our allies that are there in the region. It is a good thing that the carriers and the troops are stationed in that region. It is important for them to protect Americans and to protect our American assets that are located in that region.
Mm-hmm. Senator Marsha Blackburn of the great state of Tennessee, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good to join you. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.